Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video today, and today we're going to be previewing the Houston Texans matchup tomorrow against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. As the Texans, who last week lost to the Buccaneers rival, the Carolina Panthers, took a very frustrating and disappointing and honestly embarrassing loss to the Carolina Panthers to go to 3-4. Now the Houston Texans back at home, which they've been pretty good at this year. I believe at home the Texans are 2-1 this season. So the Texans have been good at home this year, having a 2-1 record at home, only loss going to their rival, the Colts. There's now a chance for the Texans to bounce back against the Panthers rival, who the Texans lost to last week. Although the Texans will be missing some players to their offense that have been starters before or key contributors. Robert Woods, wide receiver, who was out last week. Dameon Pierce is out with an ankle injury. He's our starting running back. And also Jarrett Patterson, a center who's been playing guard for the Texans, is on IR with a lower leg injury. So Pierce is out with a ankle injury. Robert Woods is out with a foot injury. Brevin Jordan, backup tight end, remains out with a foot injury as well. Now, Woods, Jordan, and Pierce are all expected to return in Week 10 as of right now. Juice Scruggs is still out with a hamstring injury on IR. Alongside Jarrett Patterson. Tegan Quantanaro, backup tight end, is on IR with a groin injury. He's expected to return in Week 13. So the thing is that with Quantanaro and Brevin Jordan both out, who will be playing backup tight end for the Texans? I guess maybe Dalton Keene will be at it for the Texans at tight end this weekend as the backup. Obviously, Dalton Schultz is the starting tight end, but I guess the other Dalton Keene, will be the backup tight end. Then Sheldon Rankins, defensive tackle, and has been a starter, is questionable for Week 9 with a knee injury. Charlie Heck will remain on the physical, unable to perform. Expected return, it was Week 9, but he is still not back. Eric Murray will remain on IR with a knee injury. Say that's a strong safety. His expected return Week 12. Kendrick Green still on IR, injured reserve. I don't think he's coming back all year. Derek Stingley Jr., although his expected return was Week 9, Stingley Jr. is still out with a hamstring injury. Will be interesting to see when he returns. And then obviously Kenyon Green is out for the season, our starting tackle, left tackle. Or no, Laremy Tunsil's left tackle. I think he's right tackle. I can't remember. I think left tackle was Kenyon Green, but so for the Texans this week, can you bounce back? Can C.J. Stroud bounce back? Because he had his worst game of his NFL career so far the other day, or last week on Sunday. It's not like he threw an interception, but it's what he didn't do. The Texans weren't really effective in the pass game. They were not throwing the ball like they've been in the past. Stroud threw 16 for 24 with 140 passing yards. And for some reason, Bobby Slowick, the offensive coordinator, decided for this game he was going to run the football. And that really didn't work. And the Panthers offense was also able to keep the ball away from the Houston Texans. So going into this game, what do the Texans need to be better? What do they need to do better? I think they need to get back to the passing game, especially with Dameon Pierce out. And I know Robert Woods and Brevin Jordan are out too. Those are two targets that C.J. Stroud likes. But you still have Tank Dell, Noah Brown, and Nico Collins and Dalton Schultz. The Texans need to get back to the passing game. That is that is their best strong suit on the offense. So I think that's what the Houston Texans need to do, is get back on the offense. You can run the football with Devin Singletary out there. I don't think he'll have a bad game. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and say he scores a touchdown in this game. I just think that as of right now, the Houston Texans need to pass the football more than they did last week, and I think they will be more effective because C.J. Stroud is an elite passer. He's shown it throughout the season, and the Texans should have passed the ball more in Carolina last week. So going into this game, I think the Texans need to pass the football more, especially against a good Bucs D-line. That will be intriguing to see how Devin Singletary does against a good defensive line for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think the Houston Texans have some success. Ultimately, I think it will be a close game, but I think they get the win. I think Stroud has a good game. I think Nico Collins has a good game. I think Tank Dell has a solid game. The last two games for the Texans, I've predicted good games for Noah Brown. And both times it has happened. Am I going to get it again I'm going to say a solid game from wide receiver Noah Brown, but I think we're going to see a better performance from tight end Dalton Schultz. I think Stroud is going to, I think the two best, days on the offense for who Stroud is throwing the football to, the two guys that have the best day will be Nico Collins and Dalton Schultz. But I think also a very solid games from Tank Dell and Devin Singletary. I have a touchdown for Dalton Schultz from C.J. Stroud. I have a rushing touchdown for Devin Singletary. And I have a touchdown pass from C.J. Stroud to Tank Dell. So you'll see what happens, though. Use them for your thoughts, and peace out. Go Texans.